Hey everybody, what's going on? It's been a while since I've done one of these things. Check the comments here quick. See what's in here. Let me know if in the comments, John, Nico. Let's see. Let me know in the comments if I sound alright, look alright, not appearance wise, but otherwise. Tim, hey, how you doing? What's up? 1330 broadcast. Got increased. Cool for some of these comments. You guys here. Thanks for hopping on here. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to fit anything in tonight. Wife is out of town with one of my kids. Got three more upstairs trying to not kill each other, and figured got some free time, maybe an hour or two to talk toys for once, rather than just complain about toys. I guess. Here's questions. What else do you might have? Sound is a mess. Let's see. Just test.
We'll see if that works better. Does that sound any better? Anything going on? Can you guys hear me okay, or is it still crap? I disconnected my microphone. Better? Okay. All right, fine. You gotta get the hell out of here. All right, cool. I'll wait for a little bit for more people to come in. Like I said, thanks everyone for joining. Just kind of want to talk toys a little bit, whatever else you guys wanted to talk about. Like I said, Friday night free, which I don't have very often with 4 kids and sports and all that. So took some time to lay out some of my various wares. Let's see. Cool. Sounds better. We got hello from Ireland, Joseph O'Hara. Just scroll back. I'm gonna scroll back through some of these comments if there's any questions or. Apparently the audio is quite better. It's good. Let's see. Yes, Yakface on the shelf. Oh, I assume it's that one right there. Cool. Let's see. I can't really tell how many people are in here right now. Not that it matters. Power Dad. Power Dad. I'm trying to figure out StreamYard. I've used it on the when being a guest and stuff, but not had real controls over it. Just starting to work with it and mess around with some stuff. So hopefully I could do more of these because I'd like to get out there more as far as instead of just posts all the time. And plus, I used to do, some folks might remember, I did the Realm recap a long time ago, once upon a time on YouTube. Roberto Blues just mentioned that. Thank you. Yeah, back before I had kids. Well, not before. They were around, but I didn't have as many, and I had more time. I was working. I work from home now. I worked a lot of overnights back in the day, so I was able to throw in a live stream every now and then with a friend Fly Guy from FlyGuy.net. Yeah, those were fun times. And with the time difference between him being overseas, it got difficult to maintain those schedules and whatnot. So Realm Recap kind of just rode off into the sunset. But let's see. Would you like to come on our podcast sometime? Friends out of the basement. I'm sure I'd be able to find time to fit in there. I'm guessing on a lot of different ones out there. I haven't done one. Can't remember the last one I did. It was probably Galaxy of Toys. Was the last time I was on a podcast. It's been a few months probably since that, but I was on this past weekend. I popped in with Out of the Basement and was on with a few other guys. There was Landspeeder Luke and Lucas Monster, and who else was on there? Mike Case, I think it was. But it was fun. We were talking about stuff and getting bombarded with questions about what's coming and all that kind of stuff. But let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. Joseph is in here. Joe, if I get my mouse to work. Brews and Blasters, yes. That was fun. I missed that show too. Let's see what else. I'll hide that. Chicago Anonymous. Thanks for always giving me up. My pleasure. I enjoy doing it. It's how should I say? If I wasn't doing that, I'm not sure what I would be doing in Star Wars collecting. It's fun trying to track down that info and what does this code name refer to, and trying to locate when are we getting our stuff. Basically, is kind of what it comes down to. I always do those shipping updates as far as what's finally arriving in the U.S. And it kind of gives an indication on when we might start seeing it on shelves or when online retailers start filling orders, and it's in usually within a few weeks. If it's not something that's recently just announced, it might be a month or so after that. But yeah, I like tracking down that information, and it's just kind of a different way of going about things, instead of just complaining about X movie didn't get made, or X show got these ratings and whatnot. I try to keep it fun. It's really hard for me to be dissatisfied with Star Wars stuff. I mean, it's a hobby, and I enjoy pretty much every aspect of it, so I don't get too upset about any of it. So yeah. Let me look at some more of these comments. Next HasLab rumored to be, I want to see, Rich a lot. Thank you. I have the book right over there, and I have the Blue Milk sticker from the Vintage Collection Archive book. Thank you for that. Let's see. What do I want to see? I want not the Razor Crest. I already have one. It's right there in that box still. What do I want? I want the Ghost is what I want. I've been wanting that, I think, since HasLab thing started. As far as rumored ones, I've heard different things. What they've kind of worked up, and what they're trying to get a feel for, but nothing definitive. So I don't really have any clear indication of what the next thing might be. Hopefully it's something that people will want. And Priest, you were in Galaxy Toys. Didn't someone say something about an art piece almost getting canceled because it had slave lad? Oosh. I don't remember that. I wasn't on the last one. I don't think I was on the one that talked about that. Maybe I was. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a while. I remember there was. I don't know. I'm blanking on that one. Sorry, Adam. No idea. Let's see. Greetings from Chicagoland. Thanks for the heads up on the releases. Absolutely. That's from Gary. Thank you, Gary. Cover be revived. How many waves are left for this year? Eric Coates. Thanks for the question. Let's see. How many waves are left? I think. What month is this? This is still September. As far as, I think there's 2 waves of. I think there's 2 waves of Black Series. You know, if you count the wave that's starting to hit now. Well, yeah, two, I believe. That, you know, with the Clone Wars Mall and Aayla Secura, and then you have the wave of that has whatever the Andor figures are in it. I think those are still planning on coming out this year. I think there's. I'd have to look at my list. See, that's what's weird about doing this. I can't look at my keyboard. Or my master list here at the same time. I think there's one more wave of vintage collection for this year. I think that's what I remember having from some discussions with some other friends out there. Yeah, I think that's what the plan is. Still one more. I think, and that's the wave that has. Oops, what was that? The Cal Kestis wave. I think those figures should still make it out this year. Any update? This is, oops, my screen refreshed. My comments. Any update on Brocca Bane? That should be any time now. It should be here. That's the Black Series Amazon exclusive. It's been shipping like crazy. Sometimes I don't. Let's see. I'm trying to think when the last shipment arrived was. Might have been earlier this week. That one has the code name Middle, I believe. So yeah, there's been a bunch of shipments that came in for that. Also, as far as retro collection figures go, the 2-packs have started to arrive. The Bosk with IG-88, I believe that's the first one, and then who is it? Whatever the Boba Fett one has started to arrive. That one just started showing up this week. Let's see, here it is. Dengar and IG-88 has started to show up here, so those should be shipping soon. And the Bosk Boba Fett one has started to arrive, so those hopefully ship out in the next month or so. Let's see, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Mr. Joe. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yep, send me a DM and I'll see what I could fit into my schedule. Release date for the Halloween. I'm assuming those are going to be all 3 of Elena. Thank you for the question. I think all 3 of them. Well, there's 2 officially revealed so far. Those will be hopefully shown off next week at the Hasbro Pulse Con. There's a 3rd one, and that one's arriving too. I believe that one's the Amazon exclusive one. I don't know what it is as far as what repainted it is, or what mold they're using for the figure itself, or what its theme is. But each one of those figures has the code name very. Let's see. It's very original. Seasonal 1, Seasonal 2, and Seasonal 3. Seasonal 3 is the one we don't know about yet. And that one, like I said, I believe that one's the Amazon one. Hopefully those will all be available for pre-order soon, since Halloween is obviously next month. But thanks for that question. Add the Blue Milk book 2. Yes, it is very comprehensive. I enjoy it very much. Looking for TC Mando. Yeah, that would be awesome, especially with season 3 of Mandalorian and that ship getting featured quite a bit, at least from the trailer that we saw, and it showing up in season 2. It'd be cool to get that for sure. I don't know of any plans for that though. What else? Steak heavy. Place on order toy. Do you think the heavy emphasis being placed on ordering toys online, pre-ordering, or getting them from store shelves is helping or hurting sales? As we've all kind of gone through this pandemic, and then the rising prices and all that. I see more people say, well, I'm just not going to pre-order anymore, just because clearances happen quite frequently now. It's also with the open-ended and not accurate release dates for a lot of pre-orders these days. It's hard to budget for those, and people are just saying, I don't want to have my funds potentially tied up in a bunch of pre-orders that could either ship a year from now or 3 months from now, and neither one of them being accurate to when Hasbro says they're coming. So I see a lot of people, and I see a lot of comments that they're just giving up on the whole pre-order thing, and they'll just wait until they see it or not worry about it altogether. So, yeah, I think, is it hurting sales? It's probably, it's not helping. But I think the repaints and the constant exclusives hurt things, because people don't want to continually chase those things down, especially when exclusives seem to be now outweighing mainline as far as numbers go. I don't think they don't want an entire line of exclusives. It just seems, make them all exclusive and not have any at retail then, if you're going to go that route. And if everyone's buying everything online anyway, it just all seems to be exclusive. It's whoever can fill your order first, that's who you're going to give your business to, I guess. So it hurts some more than others. There's a lot of retailers out there that would like to get exclusives, or especially fan channel stores that say, hey, we would really sell well with something like this, when it's given to a store like Walmart or Target that continually screws up orders, cancels them, ships them horribly, returns them, cancels them for no reason. There's got to be a better way of servicing the collector out there than having to jump through all those hoops. Let's see, any chance on Dash Rendar or Darth Talon for Black Series? That was a question from Adam. I'm not sure either of those two. I say it's not out of the realm of possibility with some of the Legend stuff they're starting to dip into. Let's see what else. I got a lot of questions here. My screen refreshed. We do need more aliens. Any order on Target exclusive Black Series droids fit? I think the Target app says October 2nd for that figure finally. I think next week on the 24th, that'll be a year for that particular figure. I believe I could check here quick. I got I canceled that order because that order was filled by Old Republic Collectibles, so I was able to get that from them. So I canceled my Target pre-order. Can you send me some figures, please? What would you like? No. Let's see. Oh, droids, Wolffoot. Mini crack in the back. Oh yeah, thanks, Mike. Yeah, those are some of the box. Some of those are sealed. A lot of them are opened, like kind of crappy condition boxes, but the mini rigs are complete. And, there's the different versions of certain ones that had both Empire and Return of the Jedi boxes. I think the last one I picked up a couple months ago was the Endor Forest Ranger, which I never had as a kid. So that was a more recent pickup. Let's see. Wondering if you had any idea. This question's for Tim. Hello, just wondering if you have any idea how all the pre-orders for the Jabba's Palace playset have done on Hasbro Pulse. I can't remember. I'm not sure if they've pulled that down now. I think kind of behind the scenes we were checking because, if you look at the code on the site, you could see how many had sold, or I think it was in the 9,000s, at least on the U.S. Hasbro Pulse site. I don't recall if they've pulled that down temporarily and it'll be available again, but it wasn't close to the max that they had allowed yet. I think it was, what was it? It was like 19,750 or something like that. Gotta Love Clone says Amazon just charged me for Baraka Cad Bane. Let's see if I have a notification. No, there. I'll have to look at my orders and see if that is if you're in the US. I can't remember if you are or not. That would be nice. Let's see here. Daniel Mitchell says just got shipping confirmation for Dark Troopers. That's cool. I've got a couple on order from Amazon and some from Hasbro Pulse. So I think 4 is all I was planning on getting for that. Thank you for that notification, though, Daniel. Hide that. Let's see. Sweet. Thanks. Can you tell us what outfit the Black Series Star Killer figure has? I haven't seen a picture of it, but based on what the description I was given, at least for the exclusive version, because I think, let's see, I've heard a couple different things. First, it would be released as an exclusive, like a convention exclusive type special box set, and it wouldn't come with just him. It would have stormtroopers as well, with the force attack that he does in the game. I don't recall, because there are 2 different versions of that, from what I can remember. So it's the same outfit that he wears on the cover of the game. It's not any of the other skins that I recall. The same, the vintage collection figure, it's the same as that sculpt, but as far as that same outfit. So that's what I remember for that. Thanks for that question, Geo Rocky. What happened to Rogue Squadron? They're not releasing it next year. I don't know if that means they're never releasing or, planning on releasing it. But the official, schedule does not have it coming out in December of 2023 anymore. So whatever that means, I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, it'd be great if they made it, but just, make a good movie and I'll watch it. Let's see. Vintage mini rigs. No, Jazz. No. I don't have any word on Vintage HasLab. Just some ideas that have gone out there. I know I think there's some polling that had taken place in regard to what people would want to see. But I don't have anything that I can share about that. Left Coast Graphics, hello, sir. Yes, you're welcome, Jess. What figure would you have Hasbro make if you had one dream figure and that isn't in line? Oh gosh, that's a tough question. I'll have to come around and back to it if I can think of one. Let's see. Is it hammer time yet? I wish. I have not heard of any hammerhead figures in any scale. When is Mara Jade getting revealed? I'm not sure when, but from what I heard from a handful of sources, is that it's for next year. So that's all I could really say I can't even say definitively because plans could change at any time. There's figures that were supposed to have been out last year that we still haven't gotten, and there's figures out that were supposed to be out this year that we still haven't gotten. So, I don't know when it's going to be revealed or released officially. 350. Let's see, any names in the secondary paint wave. I think that wave you're referring to is the 9 nub and low gray. Who else is in there? I can't recall, but I haven't heard any more about that. They're still in the system at Target, for whatever that's worth. There's things in the system at Target that have never come out as well, but those hopefully will still see the light of day. I know that there's the other day I saw shipping notice or shipping information that a specialty wave was arriving, and that's kind of what they classify those as. And they're not the Walmart ones, so it could be more of the Mace Windu and Anakin wave that has been around for a while. So I don't know if and when those 4 are still coming. Dengar, Bespin Leia, Low Gray, and 9 nub. Those are the ones that are supposed to still be coming. I mean, the numbers on them, the Hasbro SKU numbers are high enough as to where they should still be coming. Like, we haven't passed those a lot of those numbers yet, so hopefully that's still planned for this year. Sean Solo, hello, sir. Canceled yeah, you and a lot of other people. There's a lot of people that have canceled their pre-orders except for exclusives. It's just it's too hard to juggle a lot of them, as far as you place pre-orders and you expect them at X time, and they stretched out for months and months on end with open-ended delivery dates, and sometimes you don't the orders aren't filled, or other stores get them way earlier than others. It's a hard thing to juggle, and I don't begrudge anyone for canceling their pre-orders because it's a pain to deal with. Will we see Jabba next year? This is from Zamobi. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about a new Jabba or old Jabba, repack Jabba, repaint Jabba. Christopher, let's see, nailed it, absolutely. Big facts. Well, thank you, sir. Amazing how many people are. Let's see. From Mr. Miko, amazing how many people are banning Walmart and Target exclusives in the U.S. and buying from Star action figures because they care more about handling. Yeah, and it doesn't take. I mean, they put them up and you get them relatively quickly. We've been sitting on a lot of these pre-orders for Walmart exclusives and Target exclusives, for months and months, and a site like Star Action Figures overseas gets them and can fill both, their domestic orders and get them over to us for international orders. Hey, if you have the funds and the means to get those figures that route, I totally suggest going that way. Christian, hello, sir. Thank you. It says Milky Way Skywalker. I wonder if all the local toy shops that have been opening will eventually carry new product direct from Hasbro. I don't think direct. I think a lot of them still rely on distributors to deal with that. I mean, others, take the initiative to find overseas sources to import product, but I don't know about direct, because you have to do a certain volume of sales to be able to do that, I believe. I could be talking out my ass. I don't know. Toys in the way. Thank you, sir. Minty wave from Star Action Figures a month ago. Yep, they're good. I've used them a few times. I haven't, in a few. I haven't. I don't think I have it in this past year. But I've used them in the past, and they're absolutely 100% reliable. So, let's see. Good question from Matthew. Thanks for everything you do. You're welcome. Any word on the mainline Andor Black Series figures will be? One of them is Cassian Andor. The others, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. I don't know why they have to keep that so secret still. I mean, granted, they need something to dole out through however many weeks of whatever they're calling Andor Day for the launch of their products each week for 6 months or whatever, 6 weeks, whatever it is. But you have to assume one of them is the Cassian that's in that exclusive set with the B2 Emo droid. I hope we get. I'd like to get Mon Mothma. It kind of sucks that we get the younger version before the Return of the Jedi version, which I don't know if we're getting. At least not in Black Series. I'd like the Stellan Skarsgård character. I think that would be a good one to have. Who else? I don't know. I'm sure, like, I don't remember her name, but the same figure that's on the back of the Vintage Collection card, I can only assume that we'll get the 6-inch version of that as well. I haven't seen, any real footage of her and what she does or what kind of character she is, but that would be my guess as to who those 4 would be. I'm completely happy with the troopers that they shown for the first 4. It's lame that you kick off a line with 4 exclusives at 2 different retailers. I think that's just completely baffling. But I like the characters. It's a lot of reuse, obviously. And we've been swimming in Shore Troopers for what seems like years. But I like the Shore Trooper design. I like the variants of them. I do like the reuse for the Mud Trooper for the Ferrix. Is it Ferrix or Fenix? I always get them mixed up. For that Imperial officer, that's a cool army builder. I like that figure. The Imperial officer that has the cloak. I like that design as well. And Cassian Andor, I like that figure. I mean, they're all really great figures. At least for me personally. Like I said, it's a shame that they're exclusive, though. I guess it's easy for them to make them exclusives. Let's see. TV news. Why can we expect a TVC dump soon? I don't know. I was going to do some stuff today, but I didn't. just because I want to be sure of some things first. But yeah, I'd like to get more TVC news out there. If there was only more TVC news to be shared. Let's see. TVC has a mini rig out right now. eWeb Canon. Yep, they do. I have. I think it's right. This one right here. I haven't opened it yet to compare it against the previous versions that we've gotten, but more of that stuff is definitely welcome in the line. Let's see. Question from Mr. Clown. Any word if we will get the Halloween or Christmas figures this year? Good question. The Christmas figures, I think people have seen those have started to show up overseas at different online retailers. Those figures previously were planned on being exclusive at different retailers here in the U.S. I think that plan has now changed because, again, these figures were supposed to be out in 2021, and they never showed up in quantity. And I just don't think any of those retailers are going to carry them now, and they'll go either fan channel or best/worst case scenario, depending on how you look at those figures, is go to clearance outlets. But hopefully they see the light of day. I think a lot of people enjoy a certain aspect of them. I don't like the Christmas ones personally, but for some odd reason I like the Halloween ones. I'm not much of a Christmas person anyway, but I do like the Halloween ones a lot better. So hopefully those get solicited and start shipping out soon. Because I know Target has one, Walmart has the Wookiee, Target has the skeleton clone, and then whatever Amazon's exclusive is. I don't know if there's any more than that. There are 5 for the Christmas ones, but I don't know if there's that many for the Halloween. I've only seen up to 3, so definitely need 9-nub and Lovat for Black Series. I agree with that. I know one of those was kicked around. I think 9-nub was possibly discussed. I haven't seen anything unofficially or officially, but I think as things happen, plans change. But hopefully there's still a third wave of, I believe, Return of the Jedi figures for the Black Series to be announced. Hopefully that could be one of them, because I think he's a, we have him in Vintage Collection, and I think it's a decent. It's an alien for one thing, like people have said, we need more aliens in the lines, both Black Series and Vintage Collection. So it'd be good to get him in the Black Series to go with the Lando. Hopefully he doesn't suffer the same peg warmer fate. Let's see what it is. Can't say. I think the Star Killer is from the first game, if I remember correctly. Never see re-releases in the. Open up my. Let's see. Hammerhead. What up, Yak? Hello. Does that say bat or bot? Oh, it's bat. Okay. Hey. What media I think emphasize the most? What media do you think Hasbro should emphasize the most? Original trilogy, sequel trilogy, prequel trilogy, other shows, new media. If only there were, if Hasbro's budget were bigger and devote less to repaints and more to, original sculpt, newer sculpts. I'd like to see a little of something from everything. have well rounded out waves, and have maybe, you know, certain retailers, you know, as much as I just got done saying, you know, it sucks having so many exclusives, but, you know, have an exclusive wave from a certain movie or show, but have a mix in like the regular main line. I think that serves, I think, everyone the best, even though you don't get a lot of figures from any one show or movie at any one time. I think I would rather have a mix of all of those three: original trilogy, prequel trilogy, and sequel trilogy. What else? Dark Trooper, talked about that. Not sure about that. Just kind of going through some of the questions here. From what the Black Series concept 2-pack that has the Vader and the Obi-Wan, you know, that showed up at D23, and from what I heard while D23 was going on, it said that once D23 was over, they would go, you know, the product that they had for sale there would go up this week, which, you know, it happened with some of the items, not just Star Wars, but I think there's also talk that I think there is a sale going on right now on merchandise from D23 through Shop Disney, and I think that sale ends on Sunday. And once that sale is over, then some of the other merchandise that will go up, so that, you know, they make as much money as they can and not have to deal with the discounts. I can't remember how, is it 25% off or something on some of the items. Trying to think what, you know, because I know personally I was waiting for the concept 2-pack to go up, because I even though they're not all that accurate, I do like the presentation, and I like the figures themselves. There's some errors as far as accuracy goes, but it's still I think it's a decent set, and I'd like to be able to pick that up. Let's see what else is on here. Any word about Pele, Pelamato, and some droids? I haven't heard anything about those. You know, there's rumor of the N1 Naboo fighter coming. I don't know what it comes with, or if you know, hopefully, like other vehicles as of late, you know, it comes with a figure. I don't know if that means that it would come with one. It would be nice if it did. I don't know if Pelamato would be the choice for everyone, but hopefully that gets announced officially this next week at Hasbro PulseCon. Let's see. Any news on B2 or Droidicas? No, haven't heard anything. We need those the battle droids and Droidicas, destroyer droids. Yes, little birdie told me about an Andor wave. I haven't seen anything about an Andor wave. I know of Ahsoka wave, and obviously the Return of the Jedi one coming up next, but haven't seen anything about Andor. Let's see, any word when Tibetan Station Kenobi will release? No, your guess is as good as mine, because it's Target, and they have no cares about release dates. Let's see, episode 3. I haven't seen anything about episode 3 figures that I can recall. I don't have any on a list that I've had going. Yeah, I've got a lot of codes and code names and stuff like that, but I'm not sure how many of those correlate to 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi figures or some other deluxe items. But there's a bunch of figures coming. I just don't know if any of them are prequel trilogy related, especially Episode 3. Oh, no, no, no. Is it true? Oops. Is it true Hasbro ceased all sequel? I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Obviously, we were supposed to get various figures from The Rise of Skywalker and stuff like that, but they were delayed indefinitely. Target, what's been revealed? Mm-hmm. You're welcome, Jeff. So the Star Killer figure in Black Series will be the same as the TVC one. If that's the case, it'll be from the second game. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what the differences are between the outfits for Force Unleashed. I'd have to go back and look at some because I haven't seen any pictures of the figure, so I can't definitively say, oh, it's from this one or that. But I just know it's like his main outfit. So whichever game it would be from, it's the main one from that particular game. Java. Let's see. Milky Way Skywalker, I think we'll get a HasLab announcement during PulseCon in 2 weeks. I don't know if we'll get a Star Wars HasLab announcement. It seems like it's too early. The Marvel one just launched today. Think of that what you will. It's not something I would pick up. I do collect Marvel Legends, but I'm not a big enough Ghost Rider fan to pick up the Hell Charger and everything else. I mean, it's a cool piece. It's just not something that would fit in my collection. But as for the Star Wars one, I don't think they would have them both overlapping like that. They've done it before on a couple things, but yeah, I think with the Black Series one doing what they've done, I don't think they're going to announce one quite yet. Here codes. How many TVC figures do you think we'll get for the Return of the Jedi anniversary? I don't remember the number. I mean, counting the 4, I guess there's 2 in that. The repack wave. Yeah, I'm not sure how many altogether there are. I'd have to. I don't have the names of. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't know what exclusives there are, if any, for Return of the Jedi. Like the Walmart ones. So, a conservative bet would probably be 6. But they could be more. So that's a Walmart exclusive show at Dark Side and discounted at that. Yeah, a lot of online retailers have been able to get some of the Walgreens and Walmart exclusives just because the time has passed. A couple things. Sometimes there are exclusive windows that can run where X retailer could have this as an exclusive for X amount of time, and then it could be purchased, by others and sold that way. I think other instances are the stores just don't plan on carrying it anymore, so it becomes open to other stores, online stores, if they choose to import them directly. So that's kind of the reasoning for those showing up elsewhere. Here's one I get quite a bit. Any word on why the original Rex reissue was announced and then canceled? It's kind of a confusing mess, to be honest. I heard a couple different things that it was originally announced. When was that? Before the pandemic, and then when all that stuff happened, factories closed down for a time being, so no production was being done, and Rex might have fallen in that time when the factories were supposed to be running, but they couldn't, obviously. So instead of going back and reproducing an older figure, they kept on schedule with what was planning on coming, so they can meet those deadlines. And then, shortly thereafter, well, not shortly, so probably 18 months later, they announced that Bad Batch Rex, and that as soon as the Bad Batch one was announced, my head told me that, there's no way they're going to go back and reproduce that older figure. The packaging has changed since then. It's just one of those things. I never expected them to be fulfilled, and it sucks because a lot of people wanted that figure, even though for a time it was on clearance at Five Below, if you have those stores in your area, but it's one of those weird things that I'm not sure how it would have been done if the things didn't happen as they did, as far as with the plant closures and factories and shipping issues is what they were. I just don't think they could logistically get that figure back out, so they got the Rex, the Bad Batch version, out instead. Let's see if we might get the other three Last Bounty Hunters in Amazon. The other three Last Bounty Hunter, I'm not sure what that one means. Let's see. Hopefully another chance to order the Walmart 96 figure skipped out on. Yeah, I'm sure. Once those start popping up in stores, hopefully soon. Just like with the Clone Wars wave, those kind of showed up on and off again on Walmart.com. Now those figures are showing up at online retailers like Entertainment Earth and Dorkside and stores like that. So hopefully the newer Walmart ones from the original 96 make their way back online. Let's see, anything about re-release of the Blue Line Luke? No, I'm pretty sure that figures they're not going to reissue that one. I could see them reusing the base of the upcoming Mandalorian one, that we were going to get with the Rancor, just kind of a stripped down version, without the soft goods and the Jabba's overlay, Jabba's Palace overlay. Retro, and let's see who else we got here. Sorry, the last Retro Bounty Hunters. Yes. There's another 2-pack that's coming out. That should be announced hopefully soonish. I don't know if it's going to be part of the announcements at Hasbro PulseCon or not. Try to find it here. That's the Forlum and Zuckus 2-pack. That was briefly shown online. I think that was Aussie Sci-Fi Collectibles that had posted that briefly, and then they pulled it down. So hopefully, yeah, like I said, hopefully those will get solicited in the next week or so. Dan Marino, no, sorry, I don't have any news on Black Series HasLab. They're still trying to figure that out. I know that there's been some ideas kicked around for some for a vehicle or two, but nothing that I could really share or say definitively. Did anyone order the new Jumbo Fett from Gentle Giant? No, I didn't. I thought about it, but I've been slowly kind of getting out of the bigger ones. I do have of the Jumbo Kenner figures from Gentle Giant. I received a couple from Entertainment Earth, which I have to do a review on and give one away, of the Tarkin. It's odd that one is so different. I mean, obviously, Hasbro chose to make their Tarkin a certain way, and Gentle Giant is, different in a few different respects than that as far as the sculpt goes. But those are the only ones I received recently. I just space is an issue for those, so I just stopped getting them. I wanted to get the Star Killer and the Concept Vader just because those are so different than having just a bigger version of a 3 3/4 inch figure that I already have. But again, space is an issue, so I did not pick those up either. In regard to TSE, do you see price point going back down in the future as inflation hopefully decreases, or the price? I don't. That's hard to say. I mean, prices are all over the place with some things, but it's rarely do prices on toys like that go back down. It's hard to say what they will justify, in keeping the price as they currently are. I don't foresee them going down anytime soon. Going up, I would not be shocked in the least if they go up another $1 or so in the next 6 months. I would not be surprised at all if that were to happen. It's just kind of the way things are. And people have to make hard choices on their collections. Like they have to decide on whether or not maintaining a collection by paying higher prices is worth it. I pick and choose with a few things. I do pick up one of everything, except for repaints. I've said on other shows, I don't do the carbonized stuff. I just don't find any use for those in my collection. I don't like them. The credit collection, I don't purchase either. Yeah, I think it's tough to say. People are going to have to make the tough call and say, they're just not going to pay, $18 for, near $18, depending on the, if it's an exclusive figure or not, for vintage collection, or, $25 for a basic Black Series figure, or up to depending on where you live, some of them are $42 for deluxe, higher, 42 deluxe for a Black Series figure. I don't blame anyone for cutting back. It's just, it becomes out of control, and 25% price increases are tough to swallow for anything. So yeah. Are we getting a Phase 2 clone from Andor? I think that's what the at least for the for the vintage collection, I believe that's what that figure was pipelined, and I think that will be under the Andor banner. I think we'll have to see. I don't remember. I've talked a lot about, not necessarily publicly but privately with some people, and I'm not sure if that was decided on whether or not it was going to be on that card. But as far as the Phase 2 Black Series one, I haven't heard anything about that yet, so maybe that could be one of the 4 unknown figures in the main line. Yes, so you're going to see the return of comic figures in TVC. I would not bet on it. Phoenix is a planet or a place. Let's see, friends, because the Lego set has that name, and then that Black Series figure does. Let's see, what about the Wookiees? Don't know. Other than, there's the Black Chrysanthemum. There'll be deluxe version of him for both Black Series and Vintage Collection. Do I keep my collection in one room, or do you place pieces around the let's see. I don't. There's an adjoining room to this back spare bedroom that has a few pieces out. Mostly it's the there's a sideshow life-size Grogu out there next to the TV, and then there's a bookcase that has a bunch of my hardcover novels, and then there's a couple Hot Toys in with those, as well as the Yoda fountain replica that was issued by was that Kotobukiya just recently. I have that in one of the displays, but otherwise all the Star Wars stuff that I have on display is in this room, and then I have a pretty decent size garage that has a lot of other boxed items, older stuff, like let's see, I guess it would be trying to think how far back some of that. I mean, I think most of my vintage collection stuff is in this room. There's some you can see there as far as some box stuff. I've got a lot of over in that side of the room, which is kind of in disarray. There's a bunch of boxes that has all my carded figures. I've got loose figures in. I don't have them on display. I have them in tubs and totes, individually bagged. And then I have a lot of display cases over in this corner that have my original vintage figures, both loose and some carded. I don't know, about a dozen or so original carded figures. And then a display that I have for my prototype Boba Fett Focus collection stuff is over there. But yeah, everything pretty much is contained to this room. Otherwise, I'd be dead. My wife would kill me if I started spreading into other areas of the house. New TVC figures in the next Hasbro possible. I think we're getting new TV. They'll definitely be announcing some new figures for that. How many? It's hard to say. It always seems to be about 25% of whatever the Black Series does. What else? Still waiting on Paul. Great to see so much in stock on fan. Let's see, Mr. Miko. Great to see so much in stock on fan channel sites. It always worries me how much in total is in stock, and some have been in stock for months. You're worried that some items are possibly overproduced. Yeah, I mean, it's, I think Hasbro runs the risk of overproducing most of the stuff that they do. As the years go on and I think collecting base gets kind of smaller, in part to rising prices, and they're more focused on some of the newer stuff versus some of the older stuff that's keeping the older collectors around. It's kind of, I wouldn't say I'm worried that they're overproducing, but I think it could get out of hand very quickly if they're not careful about how much stuff they release. And I think that's kind of why you see so few. You don't see big launches anymore. Like we don't have these huge Force Friday things anymore. It's not where I don't think it's where the collecting public is as a whole anymore. It's just, I don't think there's that big of a market as there once was for that kind of volume of product. Let's see, Pod Racers, initial concept series. No, I haven't, and it'd be interesting to see if they do expand beyond those two. I mean, I would like a Star Killer one, 3PO, R2, Stormtrooper, obviously. Yeah, I think that has the potential to be really cool, as long as they don't cut the corners that they did for these first two. I mean, new heads and paint jobs isn't, the lightsabers, technically new, but I think I would rather have fully 100% new sculpts for those type of figures, not just a bunch of fudged sculpts, reused to make pseudo concept series figures. That would be a bad move, in my opinion. Let's see, what else we have here? You think we are going to have Bad Batch figures in TVC? Yes, for sure. We are getting Bad Batch in TVC. There's the Hunter one that's coming. There's Crosshair. We've got, hopefully we'll get the other members of the group. We've got we've got the 4-pack. There's a couple others that are going to be coming out as well. So yeah, they're definitely going to be making Bad Batch figures. It's just, when and how long is it going to take just to get the basic crew, but yeah, they're definitely going to have TVC Bad Batch. Sabers are dope. Yeah, looks like you do. More prequel figures in the main line. It's, I don't know. I was on that on the Out of the Basement podcast or live stream the other day, and I said something to the effect that they're not going to treat the prequels like they're doing the original trilogy, where they have the 40th anniversary of Empire and the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, and they kind of are treating the prequels and Clone Wars, at least they did for the 50th anniversary, kind of as a group, and didn't have individual commemorations for each thing. And that's going to continue. I don't know of any other prequel figures coming out right now. There's prequel type items, like role play type items, depending on how you look at it. There's a couple helmets that are coming out that are prequel / Clone Wars era specific, but figures, I'm trying to think. We know that the Ki-Adi-Mundi figure is coming for Black Series. I'm failing to remember any other prequel type figures off the top of my head. I'm not sure there are any right now. That can change, but again, I only know, I don't know what I don't know. So, what else do we got? Aside from the required 2-pack, you think 2-packs died? Yeah, we haven't really gotten much in the way of 2-packs other than, you can't even really call them 2-packs. The various Mandalorian packs that we've gotten with Grogu in them. I don't suspect those are dying out anytime soon. But we did receive some back during the sequel trilogy era. It would be nice to get more of those, though. I think there's plenty of combinations that they could do, and I think Marvel does it all the time with theirs. Granted, there's completely different you know structure with those as far as the amount of reuse that can go into making Marvel Legends 2-packs and repaints. But I think it would be cool to get more of those 2-packs in some fashion or another. Let's see. Some more Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, the only one I know of is the Black Chrysanthemum. I don't know of any others beyond that, which is sad and kind of odd. But there are a half a dozen of the Tusken people that could come out for Book of Boba Fett. There's a lot of people they could do. It's just, will they do them? It seems odd to start a whole sub series of figures and only have 2 or 3 in it. See, need more music. Max Rebo, sure. Yes, let's have those guys in the. We've got the Finger Dan. Gotta go meet dinner. Thanks all you do, Jason. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. For that, I think it'd be the first one. There's a Rancor. Truly dead. Yeah, I think Rancor is dead. I don't think they're gonna double dip on that. If the HasLab Rancor couldn't sell on the merit of it being from Return of the Jedi, I don't think being from Book of Boba Fett is in any way better. It's not, obviously it's not the same Rancor. Sure, could they repurpose and retool it to make it from Book of Boba Fett? Yeah, but I don't think that would have the draw as what the original trilogy version did. And I think the only way it would sell is if they reconfigured the tiers and maybe drop the price. But I don't think they're going to revisit it. I think it would be a bad look if they tried to give us the Rancor again, at least as a HasLab. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find. Are the Tartakovsky Mace Windows? The Tartakovsky Mace Windows all done. Never received any pre-order updates from mine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're done. I think there are various other stores that I've seen. There's that Nerd Zoic has had them. I know Old Republic Collectibles has had them. I'm not sure if either one of them are getting any more, but I haven't seen any more come in for a while, at least through the sources that I see. So third party is probably your best bet if you want to pick up that Mace Windu. Any chance of Cobb Vanth or Cad Bane being added to the TVC at some point? Apologies if you've answered already. There is a chance, yes. I'm not gonna. I can't say which because I'm not 100% sure. But one of those, yes, for the Vintage Collection. Let's see. Darksaber will be in Book of Boba Fett. Do you know if the upcoming Mando with Darksaber will be in the upcoming Book of Boba Fett packaging? Oops, sorry. Would it be cool? Or it would be cool to see something else in Boba series. Thanks again. Thomas. yeah, I'm not sure what packaging it would be under. I think it would be, like we just talked about, throwing him in the Book of Boba Fett box would probably be better to expand that line look more, because we're already at 30 plus Mandalorian figures for that subline. So I would not be surprised, but maybe they're just going to hold off on releasing that, and it will be with the waves of figures that come with Mando Season 3. Lazy Jella, hello. Thank you for joining. Cool to see you in the live stream. What else do we got? Expect 2023. Well, let's see. Can we expect an epic 2020? It depends on your point of view, I guess. There's a lot of Return of the Jedi stuff, both vintage. There are vintage. There's a lot of Black Series. There's retro collection beyond what we've seen of the 6 mainline retro collection figures. So there'll be more than just those. Place sets, yes. Vehicles, yes. Vintage collection vehicles and play sets, I'm talking. As far as other non-Return of the Jedi stuff, there's what else? There's Ahsoka merchandise that will be coming, probably not until late. Trying to think of what I've put out there and what I've got on my list. There's, like I posted a couple times over the past week or so, there's more of the publishing type Black Series figures in the opening, book type boxes. I posted that there was another character from the Scar Squadron is one of those, the Mara Jade, and there's 2 other canon comic book characters in that line. Can't really say who they are at this point. Blink 3 times if we're getting a TVC Death Star. I can't blink that much. I don't know if we're getting a TVC Death Star. Sorry, Jess. Mara's Saber. Do we know what color Mara's Saber will have? I'm not sure. I don't remember. I'd have to look back at my notes. I don't have those handy right now. Let's see. Do you think there's some convention exclusive for? Let's see. Do you think there's a second convention exclusive for TC still in the wings, or is the one on the rumor list? Or is the one on the rumor list the Norse Force? No, it's not that. The one, I know what you're referring to. It's on my master list of upcoming stuff. I don't know if they're gonna announce that other. I think that's a 2023 exclusive. The one that's on my list is kind of a mystery exclusive, because like for Hasbro PulseCon, we're only getting the rescue set from the Mandalorian as an exclusive. Black Series has their 2, right? No, I don't think they're not doing the Akbar for this next week. It's just the Andor set. So yeah, I don't think they're going to announce another exclusive, at least for this convention for Vintage Collection. There may be one more for the end of the year, but I think the one I'm thinking of that's on my list is for next year. Let's see, Isaac. First 3 Death Squad members from Old Republic game were released in current packaging. In word of the last, I think Scorch is in the new box. I haven't seen the packaging yet, but based on how it's numbered, because it comes out before the 2 figures that went up for pre-order. What was that? Yesterday? Yeah. Whatever day that was. I believe Scorch comes in sequence before those 2. So I guess we'll have to see, but based on their numbering system in, Hasbro's numbering system and GameStop's numbering system, he's number 1 in the series, even though that's not his number on the box. It's Scorch, and then it's the Battle Droid, and then it's the Rocket Launcher Trooper. There may be a figure in between the Battle Droid and the Rocket Launcher Trooper because, well, a couple different reasons. The packaging doesn't match up as far as when you put the boxes side by side. Either if you put the Rocket Launcher Trooper in front of the Battle Droid or behind it, the artwork doesn't match up. Like there's no bleed over for the image. So I think there's one figure that goes in between those 2. I'm not sure who that is yet. I've heard a couple different things, but I can't say definitively. I believe one is based off of Battlefront 2. The figure, it's not a trooper as far as I can remember. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see on that. But I know that whatever figure number 1 is, and I highly suspect it is Scorch, that figure is currently in GameStop's system. So it just doesn't say who it is. You designed the Jumbo Boba Fett. That is amazing. Well, I might have to buy one now that I know that. Actually, I'm going to. I will commit to doing that on the air. I said I will buy that because you designed it. Rip Carbonized. Yep, as far as I know, Carbonized is dead. It's being replaced by something different. Holographic figures, apparently. We'll see. Should we expect Tales of the Jedi wave? I don't know. I haven't seen anything for Tales of the Jedi. I know that Hasbro knows of them as far as their they have I don't know if we're going to get products specific for Tales of the Jedi. That's all I could say right now. Does Windows packaging in TBS open the possibility of finally getting interchangeable heads or hands? I know there was a rumor that Lucasfilm didn't like floating body parts in windowed boxes. I don't know. I mean, they've started to. I mean, they've barely dipped into that with the band members having the alternate hands. I don't know. It would be. It would be a welcome addition to the line. I mean, there's a lot of options that can be implemented as far as using different hands, especially, for Jedi, they don't just need the C grip hands, and, there could be force gestures. There could be a lot of different things. I think if there was a time to do it, it would be now that there's the closed packaging. If in fact Lucasfilm didn't like the body parts floating around in the packaging. But I think that's a welcome change if they do that. Is it true that Carbonize is canceled? As far as I know, yes. Not being completist. It's a peaceful life. That's true. Let's see. Yeah, the price is getting pretty outrageous, especially, because of how GameStop structures their pre-order system. Buying one of each of the 2 new figures cost $75 because you couldn't get free shipping because they don't ship at the same time, so they don't count as being over that threshold for free shipping, because they're not shipping together. One ships in March, and I think the other ships in April or something like that. So because I'm a sucker, I ordered 2 of each, even though I'm paying way more than the $75 for the 4 figures. It's, I don't know, just something in my brain says, if you're gonna buy 2 of the figures anyway, just do it that way and buy 2 of the battle droids and 2 of the rocket troopers and be done with it. Because I've had the worst luck in getting in-store pre-orders filled with GameStop. So I've strictly been going online pre-orders with GameStop, even though I still haven't gotten my Umbra Operative. When I placed that pre-order when it first launched, they still didn't fill that order. I don't know why. I've been waiting forever for it, and I refuse to pay a ridiculous aftermarket price for it, because it's like one of my most wanted ones from that whole line that they've done. Let's see. Hi, Jason, what's your top 5? Oh, geez. I can never do top 5. Which it changes, and I just can't think of all the ones I would want off the top of my head. There's just too many. If anything, we need a lot more aliens. There's, especially original trilogy. It's money in the bank, printing money. It would be so easy for them to. It's probably because repaints are difficult with unique aliens. You know, a trooper can be repainted dozens of times over, even though they really haven't been doing that with clones as they could. Yeah, aliens is where any aliens, give us. We need Hammerhead for sure. Nine Nub is another great one. We have, I don't know, there's just dozens that you could come up with that I think would be great in both the Black Series and Vintage Collection that we haven't had yet. Hobby. It's been fun to get used to figures and grow a collection fast. Yeah. What is your best favorite shelf? Like the actual shelf or what's on the shelf? I'm not sure. Any hope for a deluxe Palpatine with throne? Nope. I think that ship sailed. Let's see. I think we see some Visions figures. I doubt it. No Visions figures. How many T-Sailors we expect around? I'm not sure how many they're going to announce. Sometimes when things are planned for being announced and then they get dropped from the list. So it's happened with pretty much every convention or live stream that things were planning on being shown and then held off at the last minute for some unknown reason. So I don't know how many items exactly for Vintage Collection are supposed to be announced. What was your very first figure? That would be R2-D2, C-3PO. I got them all for Christmas that year. I still have the original ones over there on the shelf. It's C-3PO, R2-D2, Luke, Vader. Vinyl Cape Jawa was one of the first figures I had. Of course, I don't have that anymore. I know I lost the gun for it on the first day that I had it. But yeah, those were my first figures, which I all still have except for the Vinyl Cape Jawa. I have the Jawa, but not the cape. Let's see, what else do we have here? Whoops. What else do we have? Whatever happened to the role-play clone helmets? Those are coming. There's 2 of them for sure. One of them should be just the plain clone, Phase 2 clone. And then the second one is a repaint of that helmet, obviously. And I'm pretty certain that we're going to get a repaint of the Bo-Katan helmet as Sabine's helmet for Ahsoka when that comes out. It seems like a very low-hanging fruit for them not to do that, considering, recently being revealed as being in it. And that still that they showed at D23, I think it's a no-brainer, and will definitely be released for Ahsoka. Biker helmet, yes. That's one of the helmets for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. Sakura, that one's coming. We know that. Basically, we get Anakin Force Spirit. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about Force Spirits for Black Series. Sorry if I keep turning on and off the chat or the comments. Do you think we'll actually get a Phantom Menace Galaxy line or Revenge of the Sith? Well, we've got the one Jar Jar. That's the only representation we have for either of for either of those films. We obviously need more figures to fill out those films. There's way too many characters that haven't seen release in that those two movies. Rogue One Multipass. What was this? Any skiff guards on the horizon for Black Series? No, not that I recall. Tartakovsky repaints. Yeah. I don't know. I hope so. My Tartakovsky shelf is small. If you answer this, and this is maybe a dumb question, but how do you get info early? There's people that tell me things. There's things that I find. There's research that I do. I have a lot of good sources that tell me things, overseas type stuff. So that's basically how I gather my information. I don't work for Hasbro or know anyone that. Well, I can't say if I don't know anyone that works for Hasbro because I don't know the people that send me stuff on occasion. I don't know, maybe they do, but I'm not. I'm not sure if they do or not, but I don't work for Hasbro or get anything from Hasbro. Any word on when Droids was showing up at Target? I don't know when it's going to show up. I think you're seeing a lot of those clearances now for Black Series stuff. The Galen Erso, the Saw Gerrera, the Antak Merrick. I think it's making way for those things that are supposed to be hitting now. You've got the Mandalorian Maldo Kreese set with the spiders that was supposed to be out a long time ago, that has shown up kind of sporadically on the coast. But yeah, that Boba Fett should hopefully be out around the same time. It's been here forever. I don't know why they haven't. I think they have to sell through and get rid of what's been expected even before that figure. So there'll be another reset here in the, I'm not sure when the next one is, but the Maldo Kreese and the Boba Fett should be all part of that. I think it's in October is when those are supposed to be out. Do you have all of the original card figures in card back from? No, I don't. I have a dozen or so from all of the films combined from the original trilogy. They're not in the greatest condition. I have some in various stages of bubble cracking and whatnot. But it's not something I could fill as far as a collection goes. It's just too expensive, and I have a lot of trust issue with buying those type of figures online. I'd want to see them in person and being made sure that I'm not being screwed in some way or another. So yeah, it's something I'd like someday, but it won't be anytime soon. What else? Safe to say anything from episode 7, 8, and 9 are off the table for the next few years in either scale. Yeah, probably. There were, like the Crate Luke was canceled / backburnered. The flashback Luke and Leia were pushed back, canceled, whatever you want to call it, taken off the table. I don't know if those figures will ever come out. There's too many other things that are more popular right now than the sequel trilogy characters, which is a shame because I liked a lot of them. No, I haven't heard anything about the next archive assortment. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything more if they're continuing on with that in its current look, or if it will be rolled in somehow, or what. So I think the last wave that we know about is the Force Awakens Han, the Leia in Bouche Disguise, Chewie, and was it Tarkin? Is he the last one? But yeah, I think those are the last 4 that we've all heard of. I don't know of any more. What else? Love your work. Thank you. Canceled. Some playsets and vehicles. Yep. Answered. Nope, I don't have any rumors for HasLab. There's a lot of speculation out there that I've heard of, but nothing definitive that I would put any weight on yet. Army building aliens, not that I've seen. I don't. Do you think they'll use the new TVC Vader body Dark Times for possible Vader with removable helmet? I don't know. I mean, there's some significant differences between that figure as far as the armor, outfit, costume itself than the Return of the Jedi one. So there would have to be quite a bit of modification on that. So there may be some shared components if they were to do it. But you would hope that for the Return of the Jedi anniversary that they could get a definitive modern, a definitive Return of the Jedi version of Vader out there. I'm going to get, not that I've heard of, a battle damaged Vader. Nope, haven't heard of anything about that. Any chance of getting a play set for the rescue set to work in? No, haven't seen anything about that. The next, yeah, I haven't heard about anything compatible with the rescue figures. Jude Law figure for Skeleton Crew or We Riot? I'm not sure about that show yet. I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess. Like I said, I'm kind of tough to disappoint when it comes to Star Wars shows, but I think my problem with a lot of both, not just Star Wars, but Marvel projects is the sharing of actors between the universes, and it's completely jarring for me to watch, any actor that you've become accustomed to in one series or franchise and then show up in another owned by the parent company. It throws me for a loop, and I wish there was less of that, kind of internal cycle of shallow shallow pool of talent. Not that they're not talented, but seeing, like I said, seeing all of those same actors over and over again, it's not enjoyable for me for the most part. So, Jude Law being in Captain Marvel, maybe he'll be great. I'm sure he will be in some respect, but I'm not quite looking forward to this Skeleton Crew show yet. There's nothing really grabs me about it, so I guess we'll have to see when it comes closer. But I'm all in for Andor. And speaking of recycling actors, we have Stellan Skarsgård, who's in the Marvel universe, and now he's in Andor, and now he's in the Star Wars universe. It's that recycling of actors that sometimes gets me. But like I said, I'm totally 100% ready for Andor. It looks fantastic. Let's see, Joseph, will you cover Indiana Jones figures or stick with only Star Wars? That's a good question. I do like Indiana Jones quite a bit. I acknowledge all three of the movies. I'm excited for the fifth one. I'm excited to see the products for the film or the franchise. There's they're gonna do both scales and beyond. So I'm looking forward to their products for that. That they're gonna start showing off here next week. I will be all in on those figures as well. Just because I collected the Indiana Jones line when Hasbro released it a few years ago. What was it? How many years ago now? It seems like forever. But having modern interpretations of those figures will be great. So I'm in on those lines. Will I cover it? It's hard to say. I don't know yet. I think we'll have to wait and see, because it depends on how deep the line is. The lines are. I think it'll kind of depend on how people receive it and want to. Do they want to see that type of content in what I provide, as far as news and information? So we'll have to see. I'm willing. I mean, I'm totally interested in it. So we shall see. Got a jet. Cheers. Thank you, Gary, for your commenting and questions. Do you ever dip into hot toys? A few. I have half a dozen, I suppose. It's, again, it comes down to space. I've committed myself to 3 3/4 inch and 6 inch. Having a 12-inch scale is tough, space wise, and I don't want to. That's something I would really regret, having to keep those in boxes because I couldn't display them because of the cost and because of how intricate and detailed and just their quality. I know if I had to get into, if I got into that line, I couldn't display them, so I wouldn't feel right in just having them boxed. So I just couldn't commit to collecting that line. I pick up some here and there. I've got Crate Luke because I like that version of Luke. I have Ahsoka. I've got Jawa with Gonk Droid. I have who else? I can't see them, so that's part of the problem. Yeah, I can't think of all the ones that I have, and that's probably a good thing because it means I don't have very many, so I can't remember. Arc Trooper Jesse's still coming out. Yes, Arc Trooper Jesse is still coming out. I'm not sure what. Yeah, hoping he has the correct helmet. Yeah, I'm not sure if that is the case or not. Do you think the rest of Hasbro will make the rest of the ARC Trooper skins for Battlefront 2. I don't know. It would be easy for them to do so. I mean, there's definitely a following for those ARC Troopers, and it would give them a chance to get another repaint out there. Jason's fireside chat. It's the Yakface Lounge. Here's your guess on the figure included with the TVC indoor. Is it carded or in a bag? It is carded. That's all I'll say for now. My chat refreshed. I gotta scroll back up. Where is this? Okay, here we go. That was Dave's question. Thanks, Dave, for that. Favorite shelf collection, Troopers? I don't know. I don't have a favorite. I like different things on different days, depending on, if I'm organizing or cleaning or, handling figures. I think, this figure is awesome. I just kind of flip around as far as what I figure or what I consider my favorite. So I do like, I like Troopers. Again, I like a lot of Jedi. I like clones. I like just everything. It's tough to. I don't like carbonized, so I don't have them. What else? Any chance of TVC Jabba? I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about Jabba. Clone Commando would be my dream helmet. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about Clone Commandos. Quinlan Voss. I have not heard anything about Quinlan Voss in any scale. Will we ever get a TC Dooku? I hope so. We need one. I haven't heard. Why do I think have Blurg and TVC or a Black Series? Seems like easy money. Yeah, I guess. I think there's just things people want more, so they have not committed to blurging us. Can you say anything about Mara Jade that you teased? I think that will be announced at PulseCon. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what's going to be announced at PulseCon. The Mara Jade is the one that has like her tan cape with the goggles. That's how it was described. I don't remember what. I think someone asked before. I don't remember which lightsaber color she's coming with. One more question. Let's see what it says. Should I get the SH Figuarts Tech or Black Series Obi-Wan? I don't own any SH Figuarts figures, so I'm a poor person to ask for this. I did order my first one though, the Boba Fett that includes the throne. I pre-ordered that a couple weeks ago. It's kind of a test. Hopefully that doesn't mean I'll get into them, but I just wanted to see how it compares with Hasbro's versions of that particular outfit, and I like that it included the throne. So I'm more partial to the scale and paint that Black Series provides for the Black Series for Obi-Wan. So I would go with that one. Again, I'm not the best judge since I don't have that figure. What do you think of the new Micro Galaxy Squadron from Jazzwares? I like it a lot. I'm not collecting it actively. I've picked up a few of the chases that I've seen, like the Outland TIE Fighter and the X-Wing with the Luke from Mandalorian. But I haven't seen any of the other chases. I think they're great. I like the scale. They're small enough to be really easily displayable, and they're to scale with each other. The deco is really great. On the ships themselves, the figures are not great. I think it's a cool line. I think the price is attractive. And they're, from what they showed at the last convention, was that San Diego or what was that? I don't remember which, but just the line is super deep. So I think it's a cool line. It's just not something I could commit to because of space. But it's a great looking line. I think Jazzers really hit it out of the park with that. Let's see. Are you going to do more live streams? If so, that would be awesome. Yeah, if I get the opportunity. My weekends are super busy usually with kids soccer. So if I do jump in on any of the shows that are out there, whether it's Foosh or my friend Dave Wonder or Out of the Basement, I post in the comments a lot and stuff like that. But that's only because I'm on my phone at the game, kind of watching, or at the practice, kind of one eye on my kids, one eye on the screen, kind of a deal. But whenever I can jump in to do live streams, I'd like to do more. Yeah. I've got 4 games tomorrow, 4 kids soccer games tomorrow, and 3 on Sunday. And my wife is out of town, and she with one of my kids at a soccer tournament. So I'm chock full of soccer all weekend. So I won't be probably hopping on too many shows or comments this weekend. Let's see. Windowless packaging. It definitely has its detraction as far as not being able to see the figure. There's points to be made where we're buying all of our figures anyway online without being able to see them and pick the quality, and we won't be able to tell the quality until we open it. And then some stores aren't accepting returns on certain collectibles because it's been opened. There's an avalanche of problems around it. I get what they're trying to do from a environmental standpoint. So, I'm sure there are other reasons beyond that to go away from the windowed plastic packaging. But from what I read and hear, it's a lot of, there's a lot of angry or disappointed collectors that don't want to have their collectible walled behind a box. So I get the argument. I'm glad Vintage Collection is staying true to their packaging design. There were discussions made, and how can I say, there were examples shown of what that packaging was going to look like, and no one would have, well, I can't say no one would have liked it, because there's always that someone out there that would have, but it would not have been in the spirit of the what we all come to expect from the Vintage Collection and the Kenner style of packaging. So personally, as far as the boxes go for Black Series, I don't like it, but I'm kind of over the fact that it's not going to change at this point. I think it's here to stay. I don't think they're all of a sudden going to revert back to the previous packaging style. I think we'll just come to expect that's what all Black Series packaging is going to be. I think they've done a better job of making the packaging look more quote unquote upscale than, let's say, the Marvel Legends line, because a lot of their packaging is using renders, and even I just think the Black Series looks more uniform in their look. Plus, they're keeping the Galaxy artwork on the side, which is miles above any of the other previous Black Series packaging. So that's, I think, the I'm over the fact that they're changing it. I didn't like it at first. I don't necessarily like it now, but they are doing a decent job of making it look presentable. So that's all the more I can really say about it. I know it pisses off a lot of people that they're changing it, and I get it, but I can't do anything about it. Swords and cover. Let's see. Do I go to toy shows? Not really. I mean, I go to local toy swaps, and Minnesota's, in the area that I live, they do a monthly toy show, toy swap. The Minnesota Toy Posse gets together, and there's it's like the local VFW, and they set up dozens of tables outside and then both inside, and there's just not just Star Wars, it's just collectibles of all types. So I go to those type of local shows. I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con, nor do I really want to. I've been to Toy Fair a couple times. I've been to Celebration a couple times, but I've been to C2E2 a couple times. But I've never been to New York Comic-Con or any of the other, the regional cons like Elmwood City or anything like that. So it's not something it's hard with having kids and schedules and school and sports to deal with. So I rarely do that kind of thing. Just wondering if you are your fellow long-suffering Vikings fan. I used to watch. I don't watch them anymore. I only have room for soccer. My kids, all four of my daughters, they play soccer, so that's our family sport, and that's what we watch. We watch women's national soccer. That's our thing. I don't have time to watch the Twins or the Timberwolves. We do have a semi-pro soccer team now, so we do go to those games on occasion. The Minnesota Aurora, we go and watch their games and watch them on TV when we can. But I don't have time for sports other than that. I'm sorry. Thoughts on the selfie series? It's a novelty. It's not something I'm going to do. I think they've tried things like that in the past. I remember, were they 12-inch figures back then? I don't know. I seem to remember something similar, but it's just not something I'm interested in. I don't need a collectible of myself. And the options, I wish there were more options. I mean, troopers and X-wing pilots and Mando and Leia. There's a lot more choices out there, I think, at least for Star Wars than those. But granted, they got to limit it somehow. It's just not something that interests me. Answered that one. Is it in? As far as I know, yes, for the N1 Starfighter. I don't count Kingdom of Crystal Skull or whatever it's called. I'm one of those people for that movie. I only saw it once and in the theaters, and I've never seen it since. Is there any word whether Black Series helmets will have less releases? I don't think so. I think there'll be as many as there have been previously. You know, a few every year. You know, some being mainline, some being fan channel or retailer exclusive. You know, like or shared exclusive types. But yeah, I don't see them going away anytime soon. I know of, I know of 4 or 5 that are coming yet. So, what else do we have? When will the Halloween figures show up? I don't know when. They will be in store and online, so there'll be pre-order windows. Hopefully, they showed them off and they said they wouldn't be doing pre-orders for those. So I don't know if they meant at that time they weren't doing pre-orders or they're going to announce them and then they will eventually have pre-orders, but they will be in store and online. Archive R2, not that I know of. We need a new R2. I'm tired of that Astromech sculpt. We need a new one. I'd say no possibility of Hut Slayer Leia for Black Series. What else do we have? That's right. I do. I could compare the thrones. I have. It's right there. There's a throne right there. I have my vintage collection Yakface laying down in it. Thank you for that, by the way. Let's see. What am I looking for here? Don't understand something Hasbro make G.I. Joe and Fortnite, but not for Black Series when Hot Toys making the Bark Speeder. It sucks easy money for Hasbro to repaint the Bark Speeder. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, other than speeders, I don't see Hasbro really getting into any larger vehicles. I know some ideas have been kicked around, but size is just a huge factor in those. You know, we'll be getting what is it? Well, that's vintage collection, the speeders, speeder bikes. Yeah, I don't know of any other Black Series vehicles yet. What else do we have here? Thanks for helping me decide. The 6-inch Imperial Patrol Speeder or Patrol Trooper articulation looks like it was intended to fit a speeder. Do you know if the Patrol Speeder was going to come back? Was going to come out back then and got shelved? No, I don't know. I hadn't seen anything. I really wasn't digging into some of the possibilities of figures back when that figure was released. I have a few of them on my desk over here because that's one of my favorite trooper designs from any of the modern Star Wars films is that patrol trooper. I would have shown it off more. But yeah, I hadn't heard anything of if a speeder was intended for that or not. I think the patrol speeders were supposed to be in Solo a lot more than they were until it was re-edited and redirected. Let's see, that was great. Let me turn that off. I think there's more Jabba's Palace people for TVC. I think so. I'm not sure exactly what though. I'm not sure if it's exactly new either. But I don't remember there's a lot of conversations that I recall having, and things may have changed since then. So what else kind of sucks about the packaging? I'm saving that money. What else? Gonna go. Thanks for the stream. One last question, if you don't mind. It's a demo. Sorry. How's the selfie series gonna work? Like when they release, do you upload a selfie? I think there's an app that you use to scan your face or whatever, whatever person is going to be getting the selfie, and then that data is uploaded to Hasbro and the company that's providing the heads and the rendering and printing and painting of all those, and then your figure is then shipped out that way. So that's as basic as I know about it. But thanks for the question, and thanks for sticking around, though. We ever make it trek up north to go to the Kane County Toy Show? I think Dave Wonder goes once a year. Yeah, that's something I've kind of wanted to check out. That's kind of a big Midwest show. And never say never, I guess. I'd like to at some point. Maybe if the stars align and my kids' schedules could be somewhat manageable, then I could head to that one time. Let's see. Smaller shows are better anyway. It's true. That's what I think. Any plans for Hasbro to make second half of the Cantina bar? No. Not that I know if I doubt. Thank you, Miko. Have a good night. Fix that door. Let's see. G.I. Joe's been knocking out of the park. Very hyped for Shipwreck. I do collect the classified series. They're down there. They've got a whole shelf to their own down there. I do love the classified series figures. I had some Joes when I was a kid, not a whole lot. My best friends had a ton of them, so my childhood experiences with G.I. Joe is playing with my friends' toys. So when I didn't pick up any, as I got older, I didn't pick up any of the modern Joe 3 3/4 inch figures or vehicles. But when classified series came out, I thought that was a point to jump in to Joe's. So I've got most of them that have come out since launch, and I back the Hiss because that thing is just crazy with its with all the figures, and I thought it was a decent deal, far better than what previous HasLabs were offering. So yeah, I'm stoked for a lot of the classified series figures. Any idea when the pre-orders will go up for the rest of the retro original? I think those are going up this week or next week. Sorry, at Hasbro PulseCon for that second box set, if I remember correctly. There's another one of those too for something else that I'll have to find details on if I can. But the retro, yeah, I think that's going to be part of the pre-orders launching next week. What else? If you can see the first cut of either movie, which would you pick? If you see the first cut of either movie, which would you pick, Solo or Rogue One? Probably Rogue One. I like Solo. I'm more attached to the story of Rogue One, though. I think I'd rather see that. Let's see what else. Do you know the volume of each figure produced in Black Series? I do not. Sorry. Ever since Black Series delivered variants of the Scout Trooper. Let's see. Since Black Series have delivered variants of the Scout Trooper, any chance to have the Shadow Scout? They did the Shadow Scout. It came as a 2-pack with the Shadow Speeder Bike and a Shadow Stormtrooper. Was that a Target exclusive? I remember. I know I have them somewhere. I just don't have them on display. But yeah, it came as a 2-pack in the black and blue packaging line. But yeah, they made the Shadow Scout. Ever been threatened by Hasbro about all the leaks? No. I haven't. Not by Hasbro. Let's see. You're probably going to shows and your kids leave the house. I don't know. I probably won't be able to afford to go. They'll be in college. Any word on a Yakface Black Series figure? No word. I'll have to settle for the custom one. That's right there. Oh, just a second. My daughter is texting me. Just one second. Almost. Are you done? Should make all the original Kenner 6-inch. Think we will ever see that prototype Clone Wars Echo? I don't know. I mean, probably not. Just for the fact, it'd be kind of going backwards with where they went with the character and the design. So it's unfortunate because I really like that design. I wish we would have had that middle look in the gray and white. But I doubt we'll see it, despite parts existing in prototype form. Are your kids interested in Star Wars as you? No, they're not. They don't care at all. My kids are into soccer, and I have a set of twins. They're both 9. They're into rainbow dolls. So I enjoyed that with them because they like to collect, and that part is kind of passed on from me. Is they're kind of collecting the clothes and the dolls themselves and whatnot. My 2 older daughters, they're in the pre-teen stage, so they don't like anything that I like other than soccer. They're collecting clothes at this point, clothes and shoes and apps for their phone and all that kind of fun stuff that I'm dreading as they get older. Any chance of any chance of Return of the Jedi Anniversary speeder bike? Not for Black Series, but I think the vintage collection will have those. You will ever get a vehicle or play set retro collection? I'm not sure. That would be cool. I mean, I think vehicles would be a logical step, considering the figures themselves would be directly compatible with them. But I haven't seen or heard any vehicles for that. Dad likes it, so it is cool. Yeah, this is true. Use the clip. That's what you do for the community. Thanks, and for coming on tonight. Absolutely, Dave. Thank you for the questions. It's been good. Been on for about 2 hours and 15 minutes. We'll probably wrap it up here in the next 15 minutes or so. And thanks everyone for your questions and whatnot. Hopefully I was able to answer yours if you had one. Let's see, just remake all of the vintage. Yep, I think that's the last question there. Let's see, what else do I have? Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thanks for hanging out tonight. It's been fun. Recent pickups. This came today. I didn't read. I mean, you could tell from the pictures that you see that the figure scale and whatnot. But I didn't realize how small the probe droid is. Sorry for the glare. I mean, he's tiny. Too tiny? I don't know. I'll have to dig into it later to explore the one Jack and Ned. Let's see. You're welcome. Thank you for coming on and listening and asking question. I almost said axing. You think we'll get the rest of Phase 1 clone on the new clone body, Captain Commander Sergeant? I hope so. I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about TVC version of Ned B. It would be nice. Thomas, thank you. For those who aren't familiar, or hopefully you are, throughout the video or throughout this live stream, we've had my different ways you could follow me and stuff online through the website, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. Patreon is just a way that I've put out there over the past couple of years to I send out notifications on when stuff goes up for pre-order. I'll maybe like the day before or whenever there's going to be a mass pre-order, I put in all the direct pre-order links. Sometimes there's only been one real instance where I put up something revealing a figure for the first time, which was the Boba Fett for the 40th anniversary collection of Return of the Jedi. I debuted that first to Patreon members, but it's just a different way of getting content out there. So I don't really do anything beyond that yet. We'll see what I have time for later. But I'd kind of like to, do more this type of thing in videos or Q&A type sessions through the Patreon thing. So if you feel like subscribing, that'd be awesome. There's like, I think you could get in for like $1. That's like the minimum to join. That's like a monthly subscription, and you get notifications, like I said, for all the pre-orders that go up when they go up. What else? The website, Yakface.com. We're slowly but surely we've migrated some things around, increased some capabilities, and we're hopefully bringing our forums back online. There's a lot of customizers that use our forums quite extensively to show off their designs and their artwork and their photo novels. So we're bringing all that stuff back here shortly. We're in the testing phase of some of that stuff on the back end right now. What else? But mainly you'll find me interacting with people on Instagram and Twitter. Those are my main hangouts, and popping in on the occasional live stream or someone else's live stream. I'll be in the chat somewhere, but I'm usually around. So like I said, we'll probably wrap things up here in about the next 10 minutes. So if anyone's got any last questions, I will gladly answer them if I can. Yakface Ross, thank you. Thank you, Left Coast Graphics. Thank you, sir. Like I said, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy the Book of Boba Fett right when I'm done here. Gotta love clones. Thank you so much for answering the handful of questions I had. Much appreciate everything you do. On the Patreon. Final question: any live stream of exclusive rumors? Gosh. If there's some things that I've mentioned here that I haven't said anywhere else, so you might have to go back and watch. I indirectly mentioned a few things, so yeah, you might just have to go back and listen. I'm sorry to take up another 2 hours of your time, but I don't remember exactly how many things I said. So Yeah, there were some in there. Have you recorded with Galaxy of Toys lately? No, not lately. Usually I'm in contact with from the guys from there, Jake, especially. We chat often. But I know, I think Jason was in the process of moving, and some other things going on with recording and whatnot, but I haven't been on recently. I think they've had one show out in between. I know I recorded one with them way back sometime, and that episode never came out for whatever reason. Technical things happen. But no, I always like going on with those guys and doing a round table of top fives or whatever else we were discussing that particular episode. So no, I'd like to get back with them sometime though. Thanks for clues and upcoming stuff. I've used your product codes a lot. Thanks for the help. Absolutely. I really enjoy that aspect of providing information as far as, hey, this figure is exclusive to this retail, because sometimes it's not necessarily clear, like when stuff is shown officially, like who is it exclusive through, or when is it coming? What code name does, because Hasbro doesn't necessarily talk about code names ever. But just to know, that I try to keep track of all those code names and keep them all straight, so that when something is shown, that I could come back and say, this is the thing we talked about back when, and this is when it should, and this is where you can get it, and this is what it's for. So yeah, it's one of those things that it's like a ritual. I'm searching for stuff multiple times a day for that kind of info. So I really enjoy providing that for people. Live stream exclusive firmware, Chef Gorma. Yeah, that would be great. Thank you, El Marauder. You're very welcome. Let's see what else. Black Series TVC you still don't have that you're currently looking for. Well, I've got stuff on pre-order, obviously, that hasn't been shipped out yet. Like I said, the Umbara Operative Black Series figure, it's like a gaping hole in my, where is it? Right there. It's behind the other Clone Wars figures there, but that's my gaming greats shelf. Yeah, I don't have that one yet. I'm still waiting for Fixer. I've got I'd move my camera, but I'm afraid I'd tip it over. I've got the droids Boba Fett and stuff like that. So I think the main thing I'm just waiting on now is that new wave that's dropping, the mainline Black Series wave of figures. Vintage collection. I don't have the wave that has the Figure and Dan wave. I don't have that TVC wave yet. So I'm kind of like where a lot of people are in their collections, as far as we're just waiting for pre-orders to get filled. We don't. I do have the fortunate. I am fortunate enough to live in Minnesota, where Target is super prevalent, where I could go to 10 Targets in like an hour. So a lot of the stores that I visit are generally well maintained as far as stock goes. So finding vintage collection and finding exclusives isn't all that difficult when it comes to Target. Walmart, on the other hand, is terrible for me in my area. So yeah. That's pretty much all I'm really looking for actively. But thanks for the question. Think we will get any more bounty hunters like Embo and Dirge? I doubt it. I mean, I would love both, Embo especially. I just thought all of those Clone Wars designs were cool. We get an Empire Strikes Back version of Boba Fett in TVC using some of the new body parts. I don't know. I haven't. We've been pretty Boba Fett fat lately as far as figure goes, but I haven't seen anything new for Empire. There's more Boba Fett's coming for vintage. There's the one that comes with the or not the gunship, but Slave One, Boba Fett Starship, whatever you want to call it. There's that one, and they mentioned, I think it was mentioned that that one would be carded separately at some point. But there are others, I believe. We'll just have to wait and see. But nothing that I've heard officially about or unofficially about anything for Empire. I'm still waiting for the Morak Boba Fett too, the Target one. That one hasn't shown up in my area, despite being the land of Target. Tova says most of that new TVC wave is in stock at Dorkside. I will have to check that out. Up here in Fargo, it's nice to have so many Targets around. Yes, I agree. Speaking of Target, I have no TVC Axe Wolves. I see it online all the time as far as people having it in hand, but not from people actually purchasing it from Target. A lot of people are importing it or getting it by other means. But yeah, it still hasn't shown up. Even though I know it's arrived in the U.S., I just don't know why that one is taking so long compared to the other two. When I believe they were all solicited at the same time. So, last question, do you think Hasbro will lay off from Lando after all of the Return of the Jedi stuff? I don't think there's any more Landos they can do. I mean, they've shot their shot with Lando. I don't think they're going to touch his Rise of Skywalker look. Yeah, I think we're tapped out of Lando. Any idea price point for the Indoor bunker? Should be comparable to the other, that 50, it's probably $60 range. I think Target has it in their system for $54.99 if it's the item I think it is based on its code name. So it should be in that $50 to $60 price range like the Navarro Cantina was. Let's see. Thanks again. You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for the questions. Well, we've got enough. I think we have enough officer bodies that we could get to it, but I haven't heard anything. Fix the card. Let's see. I'm trying to find something here. Okay. At the price point. Do other soccer parents know what it? No, I don't think. I don't think they do. Thank you for the question. Yeah, they could do that, and they could do they could do the Lando at the Ewok celebration too, I suppose. But hopefully they don't. Sandstorm repack, yeah, they can do that as well. Boy, I guess there are a lot of Landos that can be done yet. Well, don't put it past them. TVC will shoot close. I think so. I think the Andor figures. I haven't seen anything as far as the arrival of that wave of Andor figures for TVC. I'm sure they'll have those pre-orders first from that wave. I don't think of what are the other ones in that wave? Well, we've had Cal Kestis in that wave, right? Pre-ordered. So hopefully, like I said at the beginning, hopefully that wave is out before the end of the year. Maybe before the first season is done. I don't know. I don't remember how long it goes. But with like with the shipping issues and the weird backlog of stuff going on for distribution, I don't know if they will be out in a timely fashion. Whoops. Any chance of balance of more modern comic characters? For Black Series, a couple, yes. I don't know of any comic book characters beyond that. Like those two other publishing figures that are coming out. Those are from more modern books. So, and one of them is it's hard to say. Yeah, one of them is older than the other as far as when they made their comic debuts, but they're both from the modern era of, Disney owned Star Wars in terms of source material. Let's see, any news on Vac Metal R2 and 3PO? Yeah, those are in that. The Vac Metal R2 and C3PO are in that second A New Hope 6-pack, if I remember correctly. And they do have Vac Metal. Isaac, thank you for working to real life. Yeah, absolutely. Sign a figure. I've done that before. Thanks, Isaac. Appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff Russell. Thanks, See the Man. It is 10:32 my time, 11:32 on the East Coast. I am going to see if my kids are still awake. I know at least one of them are. I don't hear any fighting or anything. So, again, thanks everyone for jumping on tonight. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks for being supportive of the site and of my social channels. I hope to do more of these when I can. It's fun just to sit around and entertain questions and just kind of talk toys and hang out for a change. I don't get to do that as often as I'd like. So, again, thank you, everyone. Follow and like and subscribe. I don't put out a lot of content on YouTube, like I said, but I hope to do more from time to time. But yeah, just stay tuned to my different channels and the website. I'm surely online whenever you are. So again, appreciate everyone for stopping by tonight and supporting, and I will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.